Alright, so I know I'm probably pissing off the people who want Ash and Yugi to fight other people, but that's none of my concern, since I'm going to be explaining why Ash versus Yugi is the more likely choice and why it holds more value than any other match for Ash and Yugi. Plus, I like both series, so I feel like I can throw out some points that I haven't seen many people bring up when talking about this topic. So some of you are probably saying, why Ash versus Yugi? Well, when you really think about it, it's the most fitting match for them. The thing I feel people tend to misjudge about Ash versus Yugi is that it's more than just two teenagers that summon things. And I feel like some people try to overhype the other matches for Ash and Yugi, like Ash versus Lucy and Dan versus Yugi, for example, to make Ash versus Yugi look somehow lesser. Because for Ash versus Lucy, it's just two characters that wear blue outfits that go on an adventure and uses summons. And for Dan versus Yugi, I kid you not, all I see is just two teenagers who uses cards to summon monsters. And that's it. While Ash versus Yugi has way more connections. The connection between Ash versus Yugi is that they are both iconic young protagonists that wear blue outfits who summon and battle with the usage of monsters. Both also need an item to summon the creatures. For Ash, it's the Pokeballs, and for Yugi, it's the Dual Discs. Both know everything that there's to know when it comes to the creatures in their world. They are also known for their charismatic and adventurous personalities. Both also have a snobby and superior rival who are the exact opposites of them, i.e. Gary and Kaiba. Both also have short-haired ladies that is treated like a love interest to the main character, Serena and Tay, respectively, both having to battle with the first antagonists of their respected franchises, i.e. Giovanni and Maximilian Pegasus. Both series are known for having an RPG style system, with Pokemons evolving into greater powers and forms, and dual monsters having their own unique stats and attributes. Both said series, when debuting to America, there was some stuff that had to be censored, whether it be from religion or things that wasn't suitable for kids, that sometimes is now seen as comical just for how ridiculous it was sometimes. Like, for example, in the English version of Pokemon, changing the jelly-filled donuts to rice cakes and yet still be labeled as jelly-filled donuts. And for the English version of Yu-Gi-Oh, they changed the guns to just pointing. Both series are also known for having new types of monsters with each generation. Both of the main character collects many monsters within their adventure. Both make friends with other fighters with their own deck of monsters. Both compete in tournaments, which is made for the very best. Both are also known as the very best. Both team up / battle with a trusty companion / friend, i.e. Pikachu for Ash and Yami for Yugi. Both main characters sometimes team up with their rival, and both have an iconic rivalry that has lasted for years. So connection wise, Ash and Yugi has the most in terms of that category than most of their other matches. And that's one of the justifications for Ash versus Yugi to happen in Death Battle. Another reason for Ash versus Yugi to happen is that it's probably the best fight dynamic you will get for Ash and Yugi than any other idea for them. Like the amount of monsters that Ash and Yugi have gotten throughout the series with their own unique stats and abilities, you can get some of the best shots in the fight, especially if you give Ash and Yugi their strongest monsters in the fight. That just writes itself of how awesome that would be. And you can get very creative with the banter between the two in the fight. Like you can have both Ash and Yugi kind of discuss about what it means to them to be the very best when it comes to what they love to do, and even the struggles that they have to go through just to get to where they are. Like, for real, the possibilities for the banter between both of these characters are endless. So in terms of dynamic, it's another high justification for Ash versus Yugi to happen. Same with the score. We kinda got a little taste of what the score could sound like in Masters of Monsters by Brandon Yates. Like, you can't tell me that you didn't at least once bop your head when listening to that score from how catchy it was. So there's another justification for Ash versus Yugi. Now on to the last justification I feel that is the big reason as to why Ash versus Yugi should happen in Death Battle. And that is the meaning behind Ash versus Yugi. I know to the average person who doesn't know much about Ash and Yugi or the series as a whole of Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Will just see it as a normal match. But to the people who have seen Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or even both for that matter, it's more than just a match. It's a part of history. Because when you think about it, Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Are a substantial part of history, especially in the entertainment industry. Both series were made in the same year of 1996 in Japan and debuted in America in late 1990s to early/mid 2000s. And for the time, it helped boost anime to be released in the West, because back then it seemed impossible to have a show from a place like Japan be ported to Western entertainment. And what helped kickstarted that was Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball. And Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Pushed that more thanks to its popularity. And if it wasn't for Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!, we wouldn't have shows like Digimon, Bakugan, Beyblades that took inspiration from Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! It changed and helped a lot for the anime industry to where it's one of the main reasons why Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Has this legacy of a rivalry in the first place, because they have made a lasting impact. It's kind of like how Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat's rivalry, where it had an impact in the gaming scene. With Street Fighter, it helped popularize the fighting game series, where not many fighting games were like Street Fighter. And for Mortal Kombat, popularizing the whole mature, violent theme that wasn't very common back in the day. And Mortal Kombat is what led to create the ESRB system and has lasted to this very day. So both had an impact in history for good reasons. And Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is no different when it comes to anime. And that's why I think Ash vs. Yugi should and has every right to happen in Death Battle. It makes the most sense, it's the most dramatic, it's the one with the most history, it's the one with the most meaning behind it. Legit, everything I said in this video is a solid reason for the justification for Ash vs. Yugi. Now you're probably saying, but then who should Lucy and Dan fight? Well, that's simple. Have Lucy fight Joey Wheeler from Yu-Gi-Oh! And have Dan fight Ginka from Beyblades. Both Joey and Ginka makes way more sense for Lucy and Dan, and are the most debatable matches for Lucy and Dan, especially Dan versus Ginka. You can make solid arguments for either Dan or Ginka winning, since both are equal in stats. And with that, we reach the end of the video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. I also hope you liked my reasonings and kinda see my point of view in this topic, since sometimes I've seen Ash vs. Yugi being misjudged in some discussions. So I wanted to show that Ash vs. Yugi is more than just a match, and why it should happen in Death Battle. I do plan on doing more of these discussion videos for MUs down the line, so I hope you're looking forward to that as well. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.